Say something, CJ.
Something, CJ.
Dude, that sounds sexy. Oh, fuck.
We're back here now at the Jack Off hour.
With your sultry
DJ
dick up a
Easy
voice.
Dick.
Obey NWO.
2000 party over, out of time. So tonight I'm gonna party like it's 1999.
What's super sad, CJ? Tell the folks.
Nothing.
Ass to ass.
Ass to ass.
Welcome everyone. This is Loza, and joining me.
Are you ass to ass? Poll question.
And joining me as always is my co-host and co-conspirator.
Oh, someone says
CJ.
yes.
I'm
Please
very
say
ass
yes.
to ass.
Yes, I would say yes.
Would you rather be ass to ass or ass to mouth? Poll question.
Would you rather be ass to ass or the back of your head to butt cheeks? Poll question.
96. Let's rephrase that. Would you rather 69 or 96? There you go.
I like that.
Where was I? This is the Nerd World Order podcast where we're trying to take over
We
the
just
world.
wasted all of our jokes for next week.
Yeah, I know. No, we don't have any. Yeah, because we're at show 68.
Dumbasses.
Take over the world by spreading the weekly pop culture news from across different genres, which include movies, comics, TV shows, or anything that we consider nerd. Did you say hi? Or were we just too busy 69ing?
I'm sorry, I'm busy 96ing.
96ing. Me and CJ were 96 in.
My head is the back of my head's in the listener's butt cheeks right now.
I'm sure we've 96 before.
Oh, probably. Yeah.
When we were drunk and we passed out, just like back to back.
I hope so.
Hold a hold, yeah.
If we haven't, we should.
Oh, that's hot. Me and CJ have 96.
All right, we
That's
gotta go.
hot. Yeah.
Bye, guys.
That was it. That's the show. We'll see you guys later. All right. So CJ, what's I'm gonna do some forced banter. What have you done this week?
Nothing. I don't do anything ever. That's the whole thing. That's why this part sucks. Because I never do anything. I got to hang out with my daughter a lot this week, which is cool.
Which is good.
But no, I don't do shit. I'm really lazy. I play Brawl Stars. That's all I do now. I'm a one note person now.
I timed it bad by getting that PS4 like around Christmas time, and then Izzy was born. Or I should edit that out. I don't want my daughter's name out there, but when my daughter was born, it was around Christmas time too, so I haven't been able to finish Red Dead Redemption. Like it just anytime I sit in the living room with her, like feeding her and stuff, that motherfucker's just staring at me. Abel, come play. You know you want to. What scene is that off of?
Abel, come out and play. The Outsiders.
Yeah, no, and then off of Good Burger, and the little Good Burgers are talking to him. You were just talking about how much you were into Keanu and Kel. You don't remember?
The show. I never watched Good Burger.
You've never seen Good Burger?
I've seen the end of Good Burger. Good Burger. And I know what a Mondo Burger is, but
dude, when I was growing up, nothing looked tastier than a fucking Good Burger. Yeah, that looked really good.
That's a thing. I think there's a restaurant.
Is it really?
I think so. I think I read that somewhere.
Yeah, keep an eye on that.
Oh, I do. Trust me, I do.
Alrighty.
We both are terrified of
Yeah, no, for
our
sure.
computer.
Alrighty, well, moving on, I guess, from Good Burger Talk. We do have Drink of the Show. CJ, since we've revamped our Drink of the Show, this is the first time, right?
Yes.
Well,
it will be anyway. This is the first time we've ever had this.
So, you know they say presentation's like 50%? CJ brought it in a Burger King bag.
Yes, I did. Swallow.
Oh, shit.
You can only get this in Mexico.
Wait, does this count as double, though? Because we've had Sol before.
You haven't had Sol with Clamato.
Okay, alright, that sounds good.
Which you can get Sol in America. You can only get Sol with Clamato in Mexico. So we had to bring this from Mexico.
Oh shit, we're drinking fancy then, huh?
We are drinking fancy.
Alright, this week's, well, why don't you tell them what it is that you brought it?
Yeah, Sol with Clamato.
And I guess you can only get them in Mexico.
Yeah, El Original.
When did Mauricio go to Mexico? Or who went to Mexico?
I think his brother went.
Oh, really?
But yeah, this is from a friend of the show, Mauricio, who his generosity is pretty funny considering that I called him out last week for not watching a movie we're probably going to talk about, I assume, later today. But yeah, watch Pulp Fiction, you fuck, but thanks for the beers.
You know, I don't think that movie came out that year.
What? What are you talking about?
I don't think that movie came out that year.
Sure it did.
No, it didn't. Watch.
Of course it did. I had to. You're kidding. If that's true, is that true?
It's this year, 94.
What the fuck? Well, my decision just got a lot easier. Okay. Cool.
All right. Well,
There's between that and.
Oh, really? The other one? Okay. Well, before we do that, let's open these. And
I feel like an idiot. Okay, I have to. Yeah, let's do this. And I think with all these, you're supposed to like do like you're kind of like supposed to like turn it slowly. With all Clamato beers.
Wait, so does that mean like if we drink like a Dos Equis, then the next day we can drink a Dos Equis, the dark ale one?
Oh, for sure,
Because
yeah.
it's 2 different beers.
Yeah,
Okay, all right.
absolutely.
I'm done with that.
I thought that's what we wanted.
That's good,
Holy
man.
shit, that's good.
Because a lot of these Clamato beers are kind of like too salty and shit. This is just perfectly good.
That's really good.
Yeah. Too bad you already. Too bad. Thanks, Mauricio, but you're gonna go tell them.
Yeah, I know. Fuck, we have to go to Mexico.
Yeah, we
Road
do.
trip.
I think the trick to these is all the cocaine.
Oh, shit. So we either gotta go to Mexico or get some cocaine.
One of the two.
Yeah, it's one of two. Probably both the same amount of expensive. So.
You could kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
Holy shit, that's good though.
That is really good.
Good call, Mauricio. Well done,
Thanks,
sir.
Mauricio. Yeah, like I said, most of these usually, like, if you buy the ones here, they're super salty or just not very good. This is really good, so.
It is really good. Oh my god.
This is not going to last us all.
No, this ain't gonna last 5 minutes.
We do have Bud Lights upstairs, I guess, but. Alright, so that is that. Now we're going to move on to the polls of the show. Every week we set out a bunch of random poll questions that we just like to throw out and see what you guys think. But we do have some more quote-unquote serious poll questions, and that is the question of the show. Last week we talked about Reign of the Superman, which we both liked. And I did set out some polls. So let's see. On Facebook, question of the show, what did you think of Death of Superman? Reign of Superman movie arc, 100% liked it. And what did you think of the movie in general? 100% said good, great. So that's good. On Twitter, as CJ feels dead air.
No, I'm sorry. Well, I have to revise my shit because I've been under the impression for the last 2 weeks that Pulp Fiction came out in '99.
Did not. When I saw that Facebook post, I had left it alone, but I'm like,
You should not have. You should have called me out. Oh, I feel dumb. Why did I think that? That had to come from somewhere. Am I dumb? Poll question.
that's gonna come back 100%.
Yeah. I'll be the one. No, I will say it. I'll say no. Somebody has my back. Does anyone have my back? Poll question. That's gonna be worse.
On Twitter, the questions of the show, 50% said it was good, the Reign of the Superman, and then as far as the Death of Superman, Reign of Superman movie arc, 50% said good, 25% said great. So I was expecting more great, but yeah, it is what it is. So I will go through the rest of the poll questions. Does Abel think he's my mom? 100% said yes.
You know, I've been thinking about that. I've never seen you and my mom in the same room. So.
This is true.
Is Abel my mom? Poll question.
We just asked that.
No, we asked you think. Does Abel think he's my mom?
Okay, so this is like
now I want to know
Abel.
if they think you're my mom.
Okay, alright.
Next week I'll ask, do I think he's my mom?
Remember that movie with he's a turtle, Master of Disguises?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's me. Was CJ talking?
That's a great movie.
Was CJ talking about penises? 100% said yes.
Yeah, I was.
Is Luna ISIS? That's my favorite poll question. 100% said yes. Which reminds me, she got spayed this week. I felt really, really bad.
Oh, that's supposed to. Oh my gosh. Sorry, and thanks Mauricio's beer. I think that's supposed to make them calmer. It did not work.
No. With Luna, she'll be like that for a while.
Yeah.
You know they remove everything, like when they spay a female dog, like uterus and tubes and everything.
Dang, that's probably a lot.
Yeah, I guess it's really the only true way to know that she's not gonna get pregnant.
Jeez.
Unless she has
That's brutal. That's way easier for dudes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just cut off 2 little eggs and.
Well, it sucks because anytime we take her anywhere and she's in heat, like it's just like, dude, I have to beat
dogs
these dogs.
In heat are brutal.
Dude, yeah, it's bad. So we had to like.
Yeah, for sure. You have to. I mean, you have to.
Yeah, unless she has the immaculate conception of pugs, and then like the Jesus of pugs.
That'd be cool, actually.
Pug Jesus.
Like, yeah.
Is Luna gonna have pug Jesus?
That'd be cool.
Was that a good pun? 86% said no. I forget what the pun was.
Luna would be a crazy dog Virgin Mary, though. Like, I don't know if she's equipped for that.
I don't think so either. She doesn't. She's not.
She doesn't give off that.
No, she doesn't give holy and peaceful. Like she, yeah.
That's what she gives off. Does Luna give off? Good luck, Abel.
Who wins in a fight? 50% said owl. 43% said crow.
That's stupid. Actually, it's not stupid because owls are just big dumb soldiers, and they will totally they can win
Have
fights.
you seen crows though? Those motherfuckers get big, man.
Do they really? That's cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
Crows are badass. We need to get.
Nah, crows are not badass.
Crows are badass. Are you kidding me?
They're monsters. They carry diseases. They're the
smartest bird on the planet.
with diseases. We're not gonna,
they're
we'll
still better than all other birds.
We'll,
That's what I'm saying. I want some expertise from Whitney on crows.
all right, I think he left a couple comments. So,
okay, cool.
is Whitney 60? 57% said yes. Did Whitney get that DVD from the DVD firm? 83% said yes. Does Whitney have everything on DVD? 100% said yes. Are you buying manga from Mike Smith? 67% said no. I fucking love our poll questions, man. Is Mike Smith actually just Andres? 100% said yes. Did that movie need to be war, dog? 69% said yes. Should that movie be called Escape to the Planet of the Apes from Jail? 50-50. Would you watch Henry Cavill's Batman? 71% said yes. Should that fuck go watch Pulp Fiction? 100% said yes. Do you hope Mauricio's pissed? 100% said yes. Does Abel live in hell from Saturday to Saturday? 100% said yes.
Which sounds like it's only 2 days. I meant for that to be all 7 days.
No, I got it from Saturday to Saturday.
Oh, okay.
I got it. Fuck them. Those guys edition. 100% said yes. What's up with Anne Hathaway? 100% said yes. Is there an alternative universe where we are sucking DC's dick and saying Marvel? Bleh. 57% said yes. Can Abel spell bleh? 67% said yes. Do you spell it B-L-A? And I counted the times you said H. B-L-A-H-H-H-H-H-H-H-H. 50-50.
Awesome.
Is it like Dracula? I want to suck your blood. 71% said no.
We did a good show last week.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a good show, yeah. Can you throw a dick and asshole every once in a while? 100% said yes. Are you here for super pets? No, he said it very condescendingly. Are you here for super pets? 50-50.
Awesome.
50-50.
I think it was
Does it have to be 50-50? Was that a good Hank Hill impression? 83% said no. Is it hot? 83% said yes. Do we suck at this? 67% said yes. What were we expecting though with that answer, right?
I'm done.
Already?
I'm pissed.
It was really good, yeah.
That was just enough to piss me off that I don't have more.
You know what that reminded me of? The episode of SpongeBob where he eats his chocolate bar and he's like, I'm pissed.
I think I'll have mine now. Chomps it. I think I'll have mine now.
What a great show.
It was a great show.
When you rush, should you not also cram? 100% said yes. Who's your favorite Superman? Or Superman? 40% said Superboy, 40% said Steel, 20% said Cyborg Superman. Is it Abel's fault? 80% said yes. Do you like that black Superman outfit? 60% said yes. Does the mullet look good on Superman? 50-50. Does the mullet look good on anyone? 50-50. What's a good comic book accessory? 67% said yes. Alrighty, and as always, if you guys want to vote on our polls, follow us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter at NerdWorldOrder1, and you guys can check out all of our poll questions and give us your 2 cents. Which, before we get into Whitney's hashtag what shit Whitney says, our friend Dustin Barker, friend of the show, who's been on the show before, he did Precariousness, he left a comment on Reign of Superman, and he said, watch it last night, really good, so he liked it. Oh, man. I bet you all of our listeners are happy we're drinking beer again and all the burps.
No shit. Sorry, guys. Yeah, we were probably burpless for like a good long while there.
Oh, for sure, yeah. All right, let's see.
Are you? Do you miss us burping? And are you poll question? And are you glad the burps are back? Poll question.
Yes. Alrighty, and as always, every week we have our friend Whitney give us his 2 cents on the show in the segment called hashtag shit Whitney says.
That was the same question asked twice.
It's fine. Now do it. He starts off with that intro volume balance. I'll continue to listen once my ears stop bleeding. LOL. It was Return to the Mac. Like, that needs to be at full.
That's what he's talking shit on?
Yeah.
He's talking shit on Return to the Mac?
Well, just the volume on it, not the song.
Oh, okay. That's slightly less offensive.
No bottle.
Return of the Mac should be played at optimum volume, like max.
Yeah,
like, let's
I
go.
agree. Yeah.
What are you doing?
Next time CJ does his Holcomb shuffle, I'm gonna have to record it and put it on the show.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
And I'm required. I'm contractually obligated to do it every time I hear.
I appreciate that too. No bottle.
I did it at work the other day.
Just randomly.
Yeah. It came on. Everyone was like, "What the fuck?
What the
are you
fuck's
doing?"
that guy doing?
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. I have to though.
Did he lose something?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sure I looked. Really
Yeah, he
dumb.
lost something in his damn mind. That's what he lost.
Did I lose my damn mind? Poor question.
No bottle openers at the ready. Good God. Breweries change their licenses each year. If a beer isn't selling, they don't renew the license to sell that beer in that state. Then and sometimes they Disney it and only renew every few years to create demand over time. My time working part-time in a liquor store or part-time in a liquor store.
Well, I happen to have an inside track. I'm getting that beer.
Oh really? The
Yeah.
Linnenkugel whatever.
Yeah. That's coming.
You having your fucking
I got some.
your mule sending fucking
I got
Wisconsin beer all the way down here?
I got some.
You got Clint Eastwood?
I got some strings to pull. Yeah, I'm a pulling. Am I pulling strings? Pull question. Because yes. Yeah.
Everyone is more qualified than you guys. Appreciate that, Whitney.
Yeah. Thanks, Whitney.
I have a recommendation. What We Do in Shadows. Watch the movie and get ready for the upcoming FX series. It is going to be fucking awesome. I'm going back to the zoo and going to have Bowie take out CJ's face. Who the fuck doesn't like owls?
Everyone.
No,
Or,
I
take that back. Everyone should hate owls. Owls suck. I really hate owls a lot. Ron McGill doesn't like owls. This all started because of Ron McGill. It's not that he doesn't like owls, but he knows they're overrated. As far as like they're smart, he is on the forefront of leading animal technology, calling owls stupid. And I'm with him. I stand with Ron. You stand with Ron. Poll question.
He's also on the forefront of calling bald eagles.
Oh, that's true.
What does he call them?
Vultures with good PR.
Yeah.
That's probably bad.
Yeah.
But still.
Yeah. Glorified scavengers. That's what he calls them. Yeah, that's tough.
I saw this tweet, and I was like, they're getting on Noah's Ark. Did you see that one? Mm-mm. And the eagle's coming up, and he's like, I'm the bold eagle, and the hyena's in the back. More like bald eagle. And it gets stuck. Everyone started laughing. It was pretty funny.
Everyone assumes animals are way dumber than they are. Most animals remember who you are. LOL, listening to your dog and listening to my dog. Such different levels of intensity. I don't need to lock my doors. LOL, enter without me at your own risk.
Yeah, I've been in the middle of Whitney's wild pack of dogs. It's a lot.
Really?
Yeah. They're good dogs, but he has 19 dogs. And they all bounce at once. That's pretty. He's really good at his job though. He has really good control of them, which is pretty cool. It's pretty cool to watch actually.
Fight between owl or crow depends on if there is more than one crow. Crows gang up on predators. They even fly above predators and shit on them to make their feathers less effective for flying.
Oh, you know what that is? Really fucking smart.
But one-on-one, the owl wins. Owls are ninja hunters, most silent of all flyers.
That's true.
So
I have a lot of respect for the owl's flying ability. I watched this thing on flying. Owls are silent killers. It's too bad they're dumb as shit.
They're not dumb as shit.
They're dumb as
You're
shit.
dumb as shit.
No.
Yes.
Are owls dumb as shit? Pull question.
No. Batman Beyond is definitely worth it. It is Batman related, but it isn't Batman. That's what I'm saying. Just Batman enough to be different, but different enough
to
as well.
satiate our desires,
Yes.
but not overindulge us.
You should ask Count Blah from Greg the Bunny. Open-ended question with yes/no surveys. Fun. Yep, that's me. Mullet is early 90s and late 80s, not late 90s. Also, Rat Tails. Rat Tails was very 90s.
Fuck Rat Tails.
Rat Tails are... I don't like Rat Tails, but they were a thing.
Yeah, I'll pass.
Cunts. That's all he said. Recommending you grab the Spawn comics at humblebundle.com. Super cheap deal that ends the 20th. In preparation for the upcoming Spawn movie, I'm still going through all the Transformers comics I snagged in another deal. I have to check it out. What were you guys, like 6 and 99? 99 was the year I took a short trip to Antarctica. Also, shit tons of beer. That sounds like the fucking thing ready to happen.
What?
he went to Antarctica with a bunch of beer. Like, that just sounds like the thing ready to happen. The movie The Thing?
Oh, no shit, huh?
Yeah.
It does. Good call.
Alrighty. Well, that was a long hashtag shit Whitney says. So, as always, thanks
Actually, if you guys are going to Antarctica, you might want to go soon.
Yeah, there's not going to be an Antarctica here in the next,
Because
tomorrow.
a plate the size... An ice shelf the size of Pennsylvania broke off of Antarctica like last month, I think. And once that bitch melts, like, Kansas will be an island. And it will be crazy.
Everybody lives in Kansas. You guys are talking
Oh,
shit.
yeah.
Now we're the only ones. Hey, CJ.
Yeah,
Do you love the NWO?
yeah,
Do you like supporting things you love by giving them an amount of money so small that you wouldn't notice or feel leaving your bank account?
yeah,
Then you'd be perfect to donate to the NWO cause, which will help us create more content and become a better podcast. Is that something you'd like to do?
yeah.
Then visit us on patreon.com/no-rolled-order and give us a monthly donation to help us out. Or, if you want, give us a one-time donation. Please go to our PayPal at no-rolled-order2@gmail.com.
Yeah?
Yeah, and remember, folks, obey the NWO.
Yeah.
Alrighty, but before we move on to the rest of the show, we always do like to pay remembrance to Andres for loving anime so much and not being on the show. So for this week for the Andres Loza Memorial Anime Minute, it's been announced that Warner Brothers Japan and Level 5 are officially working on an anime film based on Ni no Kuni, the series of stylized role-playing games from the latter company. Warner Brothers Japan revealed that the movie was in the works at a press conference today, where it shared details about the production and its staff. According to Anime News Network, Yoshiyuki Momose, the legend of the Galactic Heroes, and only yesterday, will direct, while Joe Hisaishi, Princess Monaku Spirited Away, will compose. Akihiro Hino, Level 5 CEO, will serve as executive producer and scriptwriter, while OLM will actually animate the thing. Kento Yamayashi will star as the film's protagonist, Yu.
What the fuck did you just say?
No idea.
Jesus.
I have no idea. Andres knows all of that though. Alrighty, so this week in Nerd, CJ, we watched the Super Bowl together, didn't we?
Huh?
That was.
Well, not really, but kind of.
What do you mean not really? You came over to watch.
For like
it.
half of it.
Oh, that's right. You missed like the first quarter. That's.
The first half? The first 3 quarters, really. Like.
You didn't miss 3 quarters.
I didn't.
No.
Oh no, I'm a dumbass.
Yeah, you are.
Oh, never mind. Yes, I'm sorry. I'm
What
really
were you
sorry.
thinking?
Nothing. Never mind. I was thinking before. When I was at timeout.
That was the AFC championship.
Never mind.
game.
I'm sorry.
Not a
Alright,
great Super
God
Bowl, right?
damn.
Not a great Super Bowl,
No,
right?
it was terrible.
Okay, for a lot of reasons, not a great game. Who
No,
won
it
wasn't
was
great.
awful.
Just the whole thing. One of the highlights though was the little Avengers little clip of the movie, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you watched it. What'd you think?
I mean, they didn't give much more away.
I think it sets up a lot tonally and stuff like that for just like a 30-minute spot. Like I thought that was really interesting.
A 30-second spot, you mean?
Did I say minute?
Yeah.
Sorry, 30-second spot.
Yeah, I'd agree. I like the idea, like you said, that they're all just walking towards something. Like, it's kind of like they're preparing for something. Oh, well, obviously that's obvious, but they're on their way to do something. They're on their way to
Thanos.
throw down, fucking with Thanos. Are they on their way to gangbang Thanos? Cool question. Because yes.
Well, I don't know. There was a report earlier that all the trailers are only the first 15-20 minutes of the movie, which is pretty cool, I think. Because from all reports that this motherfucker is going to be 3 hours long, and they're planning maybe possibly an intermission.
Wow.
But the Russo brothers also said that they've already screened this movie 4 times, and not once has anybody gone to the bathroom. So.
Jeez. Holy shit. So there's people who have seen Endgame already?
Yeah.
Fuck
but
those people.
They have to sign non-disclosure agreements.
Man, fuck those assholes. How do I get to be one of those assholes?
Fuck those assholes. Poor question.
Fuck those assholes.
You have to live in California, probably.
Let's go. What are we doing? Buy a fucking shirt so I can move to California and watch Endgame.
That's what I'm saying. But why watch it? You really because then that's not even the final. That's not the final version of that movie.
Fair enough. Touche. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But,
Unfuck those assholes.
But on the other hand, you get to watch a version of that movie that 99% of people won't watch.
Refuck those assholes. I'm tired of it.
Refuck those assholes. Full question.
You gotta go unfuck those assholes first. Poll question.
And then
refuck those assholes. Poll question.
Yeah. We're just a bunch of
We're a
gross.
bunch of asshole fuckers. Poll question.
Bunch of gross fucking loose assholes. We're just fucking up.
Yeah.
Okay, so things we see at the very beginning of the trailer, I kind of broke it down a little bit. Within like a second, you see everybody all the heroes that either died or were snapped away, like do. And then we also see Rocket Raccoon for the first time since because we didn't see him in the other trailer. People were wondering what's going on.
Oh, no, continue. I got a piece of news though after.
No, go ahead. Thinking.
It's really sad. So, well, it's not that. I mean, it's pretty sad.
Okay.
So.
Oh no, the actual raccoon that they. Yeah, he died. Yeah, that sucks.
Died like this week. How crazy is that?
That is pretty crazy.
That's a poor guy.
I saw on Twitter somebody say we're gonna dig trash out of dumpsters for you, buddy.
That's pretty good. Will you dig trash out of dumpsters for Rocket Raccoon's live-in life model? What do you call that? I guess live model.
Yeah.
Live model.
Yeah. Let's see.
Oh, so people have no idea what the fuck we're talking about. The model, real life model for Rocket Raccoon. That raccoon, he was 10 years old. He died like this last week, which is pretty sad.
It sucks, man. That 10 years old really is the plateau for a lot of fucking animals.
Yeah.
There was actually a Deadspin article. How many animals? I didn't read it, but I just saw the headline. Like, how many? Maybe Whitney knows. How many animals from the wild actually make it to old age? Can't be that many.
Turtles, probably up there.
Okay, turtles.
Turtles are like 109.
And we're talking wild animals. So turtles, and then what else?
Tigers, probably. Tigers are the apex predator.
Nah, humans are. That's why the Bengal tiger's almost dead, extinct. You know what I mean?
So. Well, we're cheating. Tigers are actually like one-on-one with a tiger. You're fucking dying to a tiger. That's apex predator. So I would say tigers probably. And by the way, you know how people consider this pisses me off. You know how people consider Lion King of the Jungle?
Yeah,
that's some horse shit.
It is some horse shit because it's the tiger.
First off, they're not even in the fucking jungle.
Yeah, they're more of a prairie.
They're in the Serengeti, which is basically African prairie.
Not basically, it is African prairie. Yeah,
and tigers are in the jungle. Tigers are the motherfucking kings of the jungle. And tigers are better than lions. Let's just put that out there
it's just the lion had a better PR team. That's what that is.
That's some horse shit. Yeah.
Word of mouth, whispering, hey, we're the actual king of the jungle. Fuck the lions, they have micro penises. What if that is what it came down to? That tigers have micro dongs?
No, tigers have giant dogs. No. Full question.
I'm gonna scratch that full question and rephrase it. Do tigers have micro dongs? Full question.
No, do lions have tiny penises? Full question. That's the real question.
Who has the bigger dick? Lions or tigers? Poll question.
That's a good poll question. It's definitely tigers, by the way. The only... tigers look cooler. The only thing lions have is the mane. That's it. That makes them, like, slightly cooler. And they're not even cooler.
Wait, did Jasmine come down here and start the laundry? Because I felt it in my headphones.
Oh, that's awesome. No, I don't think so. Maybe, I don't know. There's laundry. I can hear laundry.
I can
the Loza laundry situation is much cooler conversation than the lions and tigers. Who's gonna win in a fight?
You're just all over the fucking place. Yeah. It's fine. Anyways, how do we get there? Raccoons?
Yeah.
All right. But back to the trailer.
What the fuck are we talking about? Poll question.
But we see a desolate world. Like we get to see the effects of like how really decimated.
This movie has consequences, which is Infinity War has consequences, which is dope as hell.
I really appreciate that too, because it's like this isn't like
because a lesser team of movie producers probably would have. That's not a real. They wouldn't have made it a real risk. That's making it a real risk.
Yeah,
which is cool as fuck.
Even though you can kind of see where most of them are gonna come back.
Well, sure, but I think a lesser group. And from what we know, they're not. It's 5 years after. Correct?
That's what they said. Yeah.
A lesser group would have just
picked up where it left off.
Right. And nullified it immediately.
Yeah. No. It puts some weight and gravity to the situation. We see Citi Field where the Mets play kind of empty, which there was a running joke on Twitter saying that's what it looks like all the time.
Did they tape that during a baseball game? No question.
We also see Cap in his shield. He finally gets his shield back, which is fucking dope.
That's dope.
We see Tony Stark and Nebula working on the ship together, so that's pretty cool. I think they're going to get back to Earth. also the big thing from this trailer this week is they're saying that Marvel, who's notorious for editing out and editing in different things, well, there's 2 specific scenes from that trailer where there's a weird gap between characters that they've edited somebody out.
Huh.
So, at the very end of the trailer where they're kind of lined up walking towards something, there's a huge gap. They're saying that might be the Hulk or like a Captain Marvel or something like that. And then there's also another scene where they're outside of Avengers Tower, I think, or Avengers, whatever that is now. And there's a huge gap between Captain America and Rhodey. Like, there's a huge gap there. So they're saying that aesthetically that doesn't look right, so they edited somebody else. So it's going to be a surprise, and they don't want to give away the ending to Captain Marvel or maybe a character we're not expecting. So
that's badass.
people that have way too much time in their hand broke that down. So.
That's cool as shit, though. Props to Marvel for pulling some shit like that
Well,
off.
that's what they did with Infinity War. Remember the scene in the trailer where Black Panther, Hulk, they're all running in the jungles of Wakanda? Not in the movie. They did that on purpose to throw you off. And then there was scenes in the trailer, too, where... remember the scene where he's punching... He has the gauntlet on it, but in the trailer he doesn't. It's the fist. They did it on purpose.
No, he has the gauntlet on.
Oh, they
took off three stones.
Yeah, so you don't know what part of the movie you're in. So yeah, it's smart. I mean, they're gonna waste the money to do that, but they're gonna make all that money plus 1,000 back.
It's worth keeping the secrets.
Yeah. So
that's so badass. I'm so excited for this movie.
Yeah.
That's why, honestly, why any trailer after it's overkill. Like I can't possibly be more excited.
They could have released this movie
without trailers,
and they just, or not even give a date, just like, hey motherfuckers, it's coming out in a week, and you're like, oh shit, like, and then I think even then it would probably make more money, because just out of the surprise of like, it's a thing everybody has to
I don't
go.
know about that.
I think so.
Well, people need to plan and shit like that. Like,
I don't know,
but
you'd be surprised how many people just drop everything and go watch that. For sure. Yeah.
My hand's raised. I don't know. Well, but regardless, I think they could be done with trailers, and they'd have the same results.
Well, and my next question is, after this, on this show, embargo?
It hasn't really hurt us so far. I'm down.
Yeah, embargo. At least you can do whatever you want on your private time behind closed doors, but on the show we won't talk about it. Unless it's like huge news like Chris Evans died or whatever.
I hate that we both thought that. I
You
was
thought that
was
too?
thinking that,
Oh,
and then you said it.
man.
Why did we just kill Chris Evans? What is wrong with us?
I don't know. Because you're thinking the first character that comes to mind, and then the worst thing that can happen. I think our minds went the same place.
Oh my god,
like,
that's
boom, boom.
horrible.
Yeah. It sucks, but...
Are me and Abel terrible people? Poll question.
That's going to come back 100%.
Yeah, we are. We deserve it.
Alrighty. So, moving on.
I didn't want to say it, then Abel said it. I was like, oh my god, you can't believe you said that. Alright, go ahead.
Okay, let's see. Keanu Reeves...
Are you mad at us for murdering Chris Evans?
Poll question. Should they put us behind bars? Poll question. Keanu Reeves in the MCU. Whoa.
I hope so. Please let this be a thing.
You didn't hear this?
No.
Okay, so Keanu Reeves reportedly turned down a role in the MCU for John Wick 3.
Yeah.
According to the hashtag show, Reeves was nearly in Captain Marvel. He was supposed to play Yon-Rogg, who is Jude Law's character. He was supposed to be that, but he turned it down because he would rather do John Wick 3. So,
well, you have to. Like,
which one of my questions was more power to him or dumb move?
No, you have to make John Wick 3.
Yeah, I think so too.
Like
John Wick. I don't know if I'm gonna say this. As far as what people will remember him for, I think John Wick is not necessarily shoulder to shoulder with the Matrix, but it's in the same conversation, you could say, as far as like what he's gonna be remembered for. Because you can also make the argument for Bill and Ted, but just I guess my larger point is that is something he's gonna be remembered for, like his thing, you know. So yeah, I agree. Rather than like not a 2-bit because what Jude Law is gonna play seems like it's gonna be a big character, but. John Wick 3 seems like a bigger thing and a bigger deal for him. So
he's been building this.
Yeah, for sure. So I agree. Yeah,
he's got more. He's emotionally invested. He's got his career is kind of resting on this at the moment. So I don't blame him at all.
Yeah.
Power to him.
For sure. Well, the reports was that he was going to play Yon-Rogg, Captain Marvel, I guess. Who do you think either now that's already cast or a character that hasn't been in the MCU, who would be a good character for Keanu Reeves?
Oh, fuck. I don't even know. I'd need a minute. I don't know. Uncle Ben.
So you're just going to kill him off?
I don't know. It's funny.
I think he'd be a cool Mr. Fantastic. A little stretchy.
No.
No?
That I think of Mr. Fantastic as like the straight man, kind of like.
He is a straight man. Keanu Reeves. What has Keanu Reeves ever been like?
Bruh. Like then. I don't know. You got a good point. I don't know. I don't see him as being like the scientific dude though. I see him as more like Point Break, like surfer, like
John Wick. So he's just like another John Wick.
No, I don't know. Dude, Keanu Reeves might be the best freaking actor of all time, actually.
No, that's...
Like, okay, but everyone has a different perception.
As long as Tom Hanks is on this planet, that's not a accurate statement.
Tom Hanks is a great actor.
Yeah.
He's not as good as Christian Bale, probably.
Christian Bale has more range, and he's a method actor. Like, Tom Hanks isn't putting on 100 pounds to play Dick
It's always
Cheney
Tom Hanks in the movie. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's always Tom Hanks. Christian Bale is Dick Cheney is...
Yeah, no, I mean, the range that Christian Bale has is second
Tom Hanks is always Tom Hanks. And Keanu Reeves isn't always Keanu Reeves, is he? John Wick, I mean, John Wick is out there.
In any other... He's had some swings and misses the last few years, though, where he is like...
Keanu?
Yeah. Anyways. But I did want to bring this up. Constantine, he's already been in a comic book movie. Completely underrated. I fucking love that movie. Although it's not necessarily a Constantine movie, it's a good movie nonetheless. Because Constantine's supposed to be a blonde British, bisexual dude, and in this other movie he's like an American Keanu Reeves. So it's whatever. But I still enjoy that movie.
Which actually we dropped the ball because I found out that there was a animated Constantine.
Yeah, I know.
Last year we should have done it.
Yeah, I know. And there's an animated series too, which I haven't been able to watch. But alrighty, moving on. So there's going to be an Aquaman spinoff. Aquaman has been a tremendous box office success for Warner Brothers, so much so that it's not only reportedly getting a sequel, it's also getting a spinoff. According to a new report from The Hollywood Reporter, Warner Brothers has ordered a script for The Trench, a spinoff featuring the deep-sea dwelling creatures found in Aquaman. Aquaman director and horror movie buff James Wan and Peter Safran are set to produce the project, while new screenwriters Noah Gardner and Aidan Fitzgerald have been tapped to pen the screen. What do you think?
So it's going to be a movie or a show?
Movie.
A movie? It's weird.
That is weird. I thought that was one of the top 3 scenes in the movie, the trench scene, if not my favorite. It's weird that they would pick that specific thing for a movie. Like, I guess...
It's going to have some...
It's going to have to be a horror movie, I think.
Yeah.
Most definitely, yeah.
But it's going to have some ground in... Well, it's going to have to be grounded in the... There's going to have to be some to tie it to DC. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah.
Like, and how do they do that? Like, is Aquaman in it?
I don't know.
It's just... It's weird.
It is weird. I like the idea if they do it well, but it just seems random and kind of out there that it's going to be a movie about just this specific scene in a movie. Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard of that before.
And I think part of it is that, do you trust DC to take a scene and make a good, confident movie out of it? Because I don't.
I mean, the last 2 out of 3 movies were okay.
Is that our bar? For that one? Okay.
We'll see how
it didn't suck that bad.
We'll see how Shazam goes. Aquaman was good. I mean, Wonder Woman was good. It seems like they're turning a leaf. So
they're going from shitty to not that bad. Yeah, it's okay.
We'll see. And then I did see a couple threads on Twitter that saying I guess they didn't learn their lesson. It's not about the necessarily scene. If you're gonna make a spinoff, make a Mara spinoff. Like somebody said, that's
what it feels like. That's exactly that's my thought.
So. I wanted to bring that up as an argument. What do you think as far as like somebody bringing that up?
Well, that's better. Yeah, I'd watch that.
But I think
I'm not saying I won't watch this other one.
Yeah. My point with that though, I feel Aquaman and Mara, whether for good or worse or bad or good or whatever, they're attached at the hip.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I feel you. Yeah.
And I think that speaks to Mara's character.
Kind of like
for an Aquaman, like you can't have Aquaman 2 without Mara. Like you can't.
Kind of like an Ant-Man and the Wasp kind of thing.
Yeah,
sort of ish.
Well, now they're tied. Like
yeah.
The first movie was Ant-Man with doses of
But
Wasp.
just in that way that they come as a unit now.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. So I think they come as a unit now. Like, you can't have Aquaman 2 without Mera,
Right.
and you can't have Mera without Aquaman. I think.
I agree with you.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it just.
But it doesn't even have to be Mera. It could be, who could it be? Like, is it worthy of a spinoff? I'm more apt to give Batman a spinoff. Nightwing. How fucking cool would a Nightwing movie be?
They've always talked about a Nightwing movie, and they've always said Zac Efron.
I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, I would be too.
It'd be cool.
Yeah.
I would rather see that. Let's do that. Put some resources. I don't know. It depends. Honestly, whatever bullshit we could talk about, it always comes down to the same thing. Is it gonna be? Is it good?
Yeah.
So we don't really
It's
know.
all speculation, so who
Yeah,
knows if this
exactly.
movie ever gets made. So, alrighty, just a couple other
Well,
things.
I would be interested to know. Are you guys excited for
A trench movie.
the trench spinoff?
Yeah.
What do you guys think about that?
Alrighty, and just a couple other things before we hit up the main part of the show because I think it's going to be exciting. A couple Super Bowl commercials, Hobbs and Shaw for the Fast and the Furious. Did you end up seeing that trailer?
No. I saw the trailer, I saw of the trailer.
Yeah. I think the term "jump the shark" is negative, but I think this time it's a positive. This franchise has legitimately jumped the fucking shark.
You think that's a good thing?
Yes, Idris Elba is like a metahuman.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
In this series?
In this series, well, in this movie,
this franchise?
this is his first appearance in the franchise.
He's
like
a metahuman?
He's like a metahuman. Like, they've injected him with a thing, and like he's this whole other thing. And the only people that can stop him are Hobbs and Shaw. And the entire
Just that premise is ridiculous.
and the entire B plot is that they can't get along. So
of course.
the song to the trailers, "Why Can't We Be Friends?" And it's fucking bananas. It's a big dumb fucking action movie, and I'm really excited.
I guess. Oh my god.
There's a scene in the trailer where they're like jumping out like this 1,000,000 floor like skyscraper, and Jason Statham's character tells The Rock to jump off, and he's like, "Okay, on 3, 1, 2, 3," and The Rock jumps off, but Jason Statham doesn't, and then he takes it like an outside elevator, which I've never seen before, but in this movie, yeah, why not? And he's just like going down the same speed, and they're just like arguing while The Rock kicks ass out. Dude, it looks like a movie where I can just like turn off my brain and just watch these two.
Can I see this trailer, please?
Okay, we're gonna put pause real quick.
Keep it in mind that I've never seen.
CJ, I want you to say specifically what you told me while watching that trailer.
This movie's some bullshit, but I want to watch it.
That's exactly what all these Fast and Furious movies are. So I'm telling you, this franchise officially jumped the shark, but I don't necessarily think that that's a bad thing in this iteration of that phrase.
I guess I'm down for Step Brothers, the action movie.
That is really Step Brothers. Did we just become best friends? Yup. You want to jump out of a 100-story skyscraper with me? Yup. So that's pretty funny. So, and then the other thing I just wanted to touch upon was the random coalition between Bud Light and Game of Thrones. That commercial.
Oh, that was great.
That was great, right? That was
Yeah.
fucking cool. He did that scene, and then the dragon just like flamed everybody at Bud Light, which is really cool. So, I just wanted to say that because Game of Thrones is coming up, and I need to start watching those episodes again.
Fuck yeah, me too.
Alrighty, so actually, before we head up to the main part of the show, we do have some Florida news. Of course, we do. Man chews up police car after cocaine arrest.
What the fuck?
A 37-year-old Homestead man was arrested Thursday night after more than 40 grams of cocaine were found in his possession during a traffic stop. Melvin Stubbs was charged with cocaine trafficking and resisting arrest. He was also charged with property damage for chewing up or eating a sheriff's office patrol car seat after he was taken into custody.
Wow, that's
It's very Florida, right?
like I think I would look at that and be like, I'm not even mad. I'm just kind of impressed. Like, what the fuck?
We're gonna keep the other charges, but as far as like destroying this, like, all right, I'm impressed.
This is off the record, but well done.
I'm gonna turn off the body cam real quick. Well done.
Yeah. That's Are
That's
you
impressive.
impressed by that? Poll question.
Just the jaw strength and that just like
Because you're handcuffed. Yeah. That's crazy.
that is really crazy.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
I think I'd rather have a pit bull bite me than that guy. Just
Yeah, no shit. Would you rather be bitten by a pit bull or that guy? Poll question. Because I don't think I know. You don't want to be bitten by that guy. Dogs ride in cop cars all the time. They don't chew the fucking
That's
seat.
what I'm saying. And this guy's just like
It's like a pull push.
Bullshit.
Good luck, Cable.
I appreciate it. You know, you challenge me every week, and I appreciate that. You keep me on my toes, and I appreciate that about you. Alrighty. Main event of the show, 1999. The best movie year of all time, question mark?
Yeah, 85 is pretty good.
I've been looking at that. Another one said 2012 was pretty good. 77 was good because Star Wars came out that year, as well as some other movies. But 99 really got us thinking and kind of made my imagination run as far as like the movies that came out that year are crazy. And just to name a few, well, that'll probably give away some of
Yeah, I was
my...
thinking about that. Let's save that for the end.
Yeah. Movies that we didn't name. Right. We'll save them for the end.
We do you want to do some? No, I don't know if we honorable mentions because like we might give each other's away a little bit. Let's just do the 5, and then we can.
Okay, all right, that's fine.
And then we'll do some honorable mentions after.
But I guess where the show got its origin, and we kind of started thinking about it. Well, we talked about The Matrix. If you guys haven't checked that show, I'll do it about 3 weeks ago, and we revisited the Matrix trilogy. Well, when I was doing some research for The Matrix, I was looking at that year 1999, and I'm like, holy shit, that year is stacked. And sure enough, I wasn't the only one that caught it. There's been articles and articles about that year, how 1999 not only capped the 90s, which is a really good movie decade, but like within itself that year, 1999, the movies that came out that year are still talked about to this day.
Yeah.
You know, just to talk about the one that we brought up already, but like The Matrix, we sucked that movie's dick for 45 a whole show. So
and we talked about how it could have been a 4-hour show. Which
exactly.
It should have been.
Yeah, and just the monumental movies that came out that year, and it's just crazy, really. So what we decided to do here is we're gonna talk about specifically the movies that came out that year in our top 5. So one of our famous top 5 episodes of movies that not necessarily that we think are the best movies of all time or whatever, but just like personally top 5.
It's our favorite movies.
Favorite movies from
There's
that
a
year.
difference between the best and your favorite.
Yeah, exactly.
And this is our favorite movies.
Our favorite movies of that year. And we're not going to do that bullshit that they do all the time on all the shows, like, in 1999, a gallon of gas was bad.
No, I hate those shows.
Yeah, so we're just going to do the straight movies in 1999. So, let's see. I guess I have a couple links here for, like, box office that year, and then just movies in general from that year. So, we'll do that after the fact, but we'll just start off and do our top 5. So,
okay.
We're going to do a top 5 movies of 1999. CJ... You go first.
Well, I had to make an amendment on the fly here.
Okay.
But that's okay, because this list pissed me off.
Let's just start off there. It really did. Like, I typed them all out, and I'm like, I was supposed to pick 5. So when CJ actually first came over to the house, I'm like, hey, are we doing 5 or 10? And he's like, let's do 5 because 10 would be too easy. And even 10 really would be like, you're cutting some movies out. Yeah. But yeah, it was just, I guess what I'm trying to get at is it's very hard to narrow it down to 5 movies.
I don't know why I thought Pulp Fiction came out in 99, but taking that movie out actually helped me out a little bit because I'm leaving off like 3 or 4 movies that I love, like even still, but I could finally put one on my number 5. But yeah, this list was probably the hardest to do that we've done so far.
So all the commentary post 1999 about it being a great movie are pretty accurate, right?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure. There's movies that are in our lexicon. Like, everyone knows most of these movies. A solid 90%. I don't even know.
I would say a good majority of people know something a little bit about all of these movies.
What I should have said is, because we have that list or whatever of all the movies in there, at least like 80% of those movies are still in the zeitgeist.
Oh, for sure. And there always references like their favorite movie or whatever. So, absolutely. So, okay. Yeah, where are we going to start at number 5?
Okay, so this is the one I had left off, but I took out, like I said, Pulp Fiction. So it thankfully gets to make the list. This hurt me to cut. And there's still a couple movies behind it that I wish, and we'll get to them at the end, but. They should be on this list. But this one, I'm really glad it could be on here. It's called Any Given Sunday. And I fucking love that movie.
I love that movie too. That was Well, now that you've revealed it, that is definitely a movie that I typed on my list of we have to talk about this movie.
Yeah.
Any Given Sunday it has to be one of the top 5, if not top 3, football movies of all time.
It's number 1 for me.
I love this movie. I watch that movie all the time. Like it's because it's over the top. It's a crazy. It's an Oliver Stone movie, directed Oliver Stone. Jamie Foxx stars in it. Dennis Quaid is the washed-up quarterback. Jamie Foxx is like the up-and-coming quarterback.
Perfectly
Beautifully
Beautifully cast. They got a bunch of NFL players. They got LT in this fucking movie.
He was LT. He played himself really in this movie.
Yeah, he played himself. Yeah. Did he play himself? Poll question.
And it's just a really great movie, and it's just over the top. Al Pacino's the coach. Mm-hmm. Anytime that
Ice Cube. LL Cool J. I do that all the time.
Yeah. He was the running back.
Yeah.
But the one scene that always comes to this. Oh, by the way, spoiler warning for all these movies.
1999.
I know.
20 years ago.
Still.
Okay, fine.
But the one scene that always comes to mind when we talk about, or when anybody brings up this movie, is the eyeball scene.
Oh God, yes, that is. Because I remember watching this movie when I was a little kid. When it first had come out. And the only thing I remembered from it was that a dude's eye fell out.
Yeah.
And then I watched it in high school, and I was like, oh, yeah, that's crazy. Well, holy shit. But yeah, that sticks out for you. Like, oh, yeah, it sticks out for everyone, probably. A dude gets hit so hard.
His eyeball falls out.
Fucking eyeball falls out. It's crazy. This movie's insane.
This movie is insane.
Could that even happen?
No, I don't think so. On the Levitard show, they were asking everybody on Super Bowl weekend what, like, your favorite top 5 football movies. And anytime a football player said Any Given Sunday, they were like, did you laugh at the part where the guy's eyeball fell out? And they're like, yeah, because that would probably never happen.
Probably.
You would have to get poked
but this football's so crazy that it did.
It's over the top, baby. Willie Beeman when he jumps on the over the end zone and then they flip him. Just a good movie. And I keep coming back to this, but the over the topness of this fucking movie is crazy. There's a scene in the director's cut movie where Cameron Diaz, who I think is the owner's daughter, right? She's like running the team because her dad can or whatever. She walks into the locker room and the
giant dongs are swinging around.
Dude, like to his knees and Mia's like a 10-year-old. I'm like, what?
And some dude just throws an alligator out just because.
Yeah.
Because it's that movie. And yeah, just Cameron Diaz in the middle.
Just what Oliver Stone thinks goes on in a football locker room, like that's fucking crazy. Yeah, so
it's insane.
That movie is insane, and that's a good pick, CJ. I enjoy that. Anytime that movie, whenever we had HBO and stuff growing up, anytime that movie was on, had to watch it. Like,
there's probably we watched it. Obviously, I was only in football for a couple years, but we had a big party every year or both years. When we just watched that movie to celebrate the beginning of our football season. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah,
it's legit. But I think I can't. I'm sorry. I know. I can't really. Poll question.
Damn it.
I can't really say I loved football before I watched this movie, but this movie helped me love football.
Yeah, I agree.
It like ratcheted it up to 10, and I still probably love football the same way without it. Or as much, but not the same way. Put it that way. Yeah, I would probably love football as much, but this gave me a little more... It gave football a little more pizzazz.
Yeah, there you go. Jazz fingers, pizzazz.
Did this movie give football more pizzazz? Because it absolutely did, which is cool. So I love this movie.
That's a good first entry to the list. I appreciate it.
And that's where we're starting. Okay, we're starting with one of the greatest football movies one of the greatest movies of all time.
Any Given Sunday. I agree. Yeah. Good pick. Alrighty, my number 5 is definitely for my money one of the most underrated movies of all time, and one of the most underrated comic book movies of all time. And I remember watching the commercial for this movie on Nick all the time. We talked about it before. It made another one on my top 5 list. It's just it caught my imagination at a time where I'm like, this movie looks insane. I want to watch it. It's Mystery Men.
Mystery Men? That came out in 99?
That came out in 99.
That's cool.
Yeah, quick recap because we've talked about it on the show before. It's about these like misfit superheroes.
That's in the Hall of Fame.
That is in the Hall of Fame. It's William H. Macy's the shoveler. His superpowers, he knows how to use a shovel really well. We have the spleen who farts. We have
Ben Stiller just gets
Stiller,
mad.
He gets mad, and like not even super strong. He just gets really mad.
Just gets mad.
Then we have, I forget what.
Kel, his superpower is he's invisible when no one's looking at him.
The only time he goes invisible is when nobody's looking at him.
That's so funny.
And then Hank Azaria's character, he throws forks and spoons and shit like that. And Greg Kinnear is like he's the real superhero, but he's like super corporate, super sponsored. And then Janine Garofalo's character is the bowler.
Her dad's head or something is in a bowling ball.
Yeah, so that movie's
That's
just
funny.
super over the top. I love that movie. It's still completely underrated to me, and I love that movie. And it lives in my heart, and it will always have a special place in my heart. So when I saw the list that movie came out in '99, I'm like, for sure it has to make my list. So
Fair enough.
That is
cool.
my number 5.
That's pretty cool. I've never seen the whole thing.
You should, man. You should.
I will. I really will.
Alrighty, what is your number 4, CJ?
So, my number 4 is I love this movie so much. This is, I love this movie. This movie is so smart that I can't even, like, just the idea of that is insane.
I think I know what can I?
You want to guess?
Off the mic?
Yeah, go ahead.
Or on the mic?
That doesn't matter.
Dogma.
Yeah, it's Dogma. That movie is so brilliant.
That is the movie that made me fall in love with Kevin Smith, dude.
Yeah.
When I remember watching.
Well, mine probably Jay and Silent Bob, but.
Well, I think I watched this before Jay and Silent Bob, but
I didn't.
When I watched this movie, I'm like, dude, the idea of like you can like undercut God like to get back to heaven and basically contradict what he said. Well, in this movie, what she said. Like, that movie's genius.
And just the way they jump through all those loopholes.
Yeah.
Like, okay, he's a guy because, like, he just wants to come down to Earth and get away from being God for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And then they beat his ass and he can't do shit. That's insane.
Yeah.
Like, it's so well written. This is probably one of the best written movies ever.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
As far as the writing,
and
that's crazy.
All the interviews I've ever heard of him, and I listen to a lot of his podcasts, so, you know, he talks about his movies often and stuff, and it just came from him growing up Catholic and going to Catholic school and just doing all that and just thinking, like, you know, this idea, what if all this, yeah, exactly. So, and great casting. You have Chris Rock is one of the 13th apostle, the black apostle that nobody talks about.
Dude, those me $12.
Yeah. You have classic Jay and Silent Bob, who really without them you could say that they're part of this other thing, but they're the ones that connect the movie with the rest of what they call the askew. I think it's a skew verse.
Yeah.
And they tie them together. Then you have
and they perfectly. Beautifully. Jay and Silent Bob in this movie is awesome.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Then you have Jason Lee as a demon. Then you have
Jason Lee was awesome too. Yeah, Alan Rickman's in this movie.
Alan Rickman's in there as the angel. Then you have
Selma Hayek is in this movie.
Selma Hayek is in this movie.
Smoking hot in this movie.
She is a
this is like
muse.
peak Selma Hayek.
Yeah. Like,
it was fantastic.
Who else is in
well
this
done,
movie?
Kevin Smith.
And then God is played by Alanis Morissette.
Which is perfect. That is so perfect. That couldn't have been done better. I couldn't imagine someone better for that. And then Alanis Morissette. That's so and it's so 90s. Like
for sure. That is peak 90s.
That is the 90s thing on this list probably.
The only way that gets 90ers is if one of the Spice Girls plays God in this movie.
Yeah, and Backstreet Boys are like in the back as angels somehow.
Oh, and how can we forget about the two renegade angels, Ben Affleck and Matt Damon, where they were still doing Kevin Smith films? Yes. That
scene in the corporate. That's one of the best movies.
Yeah.
That's one of the best scenes in movie history.
I love that scene because
so good.
They go into this corporate office and they do what a lot of people want to do to these like 1%ers or whatever, and it's like.
These just corporate ass douches.
And they're like, we have we know all your sins. That's what our job is, and just how ruthless these angels are, when they're trying to get back to the gates of, of heaven and go through the church and stuff. And I'm really, really, and it is my favorite Kevin Smith movie. It's my favorite.
George Carlin.
How can we forget George Carlin?
And Buddy Jesus. The idea of Buddy Jesus is so funny.
They still use Buddy Jesus in all the memes and stuff, but I bet you a lot of people don't know where it originated from, and it's from
probably not.
Kevin Smith.
Yeah, you're right. Buddy Jesus is so great. Just the concept, the overall they have a giant shit turd monster in this movie. Like the fact that it can be so that like smart and it's still a Kevin Smith movie, which is so great. I love this movie. There's nothing not to like about this movie.
I really love this movie. That's a good pick.
I love this movie so much.
A little bit of a spoiler warning. It didn't make my list, but it was number 6 for sure. Like it was right there.
See, I couldn't have left it off. I couldn't have.
Yeah,
I knew it would make mine.
And I'm glad you brought it up because I fucking love that movie. This is how tough this list is. Like I fucking love this
hard.
movie.
Yeah. Friday Night Lights. Any Given Sunday is one of my favorite movies of all time. It wasn't gonna make it.
Yeah, I know.
So yeah, that's what we're dealing with here.
Yeah, it's tough. So.
And we're just like that perfect age too.
Yeah, exactly. We were like 10, 11, 12 around that.
These movies shaped us.
Yeah, exactly. Because we watched it as kids and then it followed us.
But we kept watching it.
That's how. Which is, dude. We're on the. Since we started this show, we're like on the same wavelength. Yeah. So we thought about killing Chris Evans. Dogma's here, and then you have a good transition. As far as like carried with us childhood, they're fond in our heart. Which I'll probably get shit for this for my number 4. But just to the reason I picked this in the movie or my list is because the lead up to this movie was, to me as a kid, was second to none. All the advertisement was there, like the excitement was there, like you have to go see this movie. Everything was it. This movie was on everything. It was on soda. I collected all these Pepsi cans because they had different characters from this movie. What is it?
Phantom Menace.
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah, I mean, because that marketing is fucking everywhere.
It was everywhere, and as a 10-year-old kid, you're everywhere, and that's in my life. I don't think I ever drank as much pop as I did that day because I wanted to collect all those fucking cans. Ask me where those cans are now. I have no fucking clue. So I was doing errands for my grandparents just so they can give me money so I can get money for movie tickets and just like everything, dude. I was doing everything possible to go to this movie. That's cool. And as a kid, like. I've seen the Star Wars before that, right? But this was my Star Wars. Like, I went to the movie theaters, and that's why I don't think it's not the greatest movie, but that's why I feel, to me, as a kid, and I'm watching that movie, I'm enthralled. Like, it was, especially that last, we've talked about that movie, and we've talked about that last scene between Darth Maul and
Qui-Gon Jinn, and Obi-Wan.
But yeah, so just that movie in general was just like, I was head over heels. And that, like, I was into Star Wars, but when I watched that movie, I was into Star Wars. You know what I mean?
You love Star Wars.
I love Star Wars.
He does love Star Wars.
Yeah. After that, I watched the second one in movie theaters. I watched the third one in the movie theaters. I've been into Star Wars since then, and that was my entry point. Like I said, I saw the other movies before, and I was enthralled by those movies, but just like
that's what set it off.
That set me off. So. That's why I'll defend that movie till the day I die.
I probably don't love it as much as... Oh, clearly I don't love it as much as you. Mm-hmm. But that was also my introduction to Star Wars. And it was like... I'd never seen a Star Wars movie before that.
Oh, really?
Well, I had tried. And I remember going to my aunt's house. And she had all 3 Star Wars, like the old ones. And I tried to watch them. Every fucking time I tried to watch them, I fell asleep in the first 5 minutes. As a little kid. I tried to watch that movie 37 times. The first one,
Just
A New Hope.
Yeah.
Try to watch it probably 40 times.
Or as some hipster Star Wars will say, it's just Star Wars because when it came out, it wasn't A New Hope. It was just Star Wars. Yeah. And then after the fact,
You mean Star Wars? Yeah. Thanks, Jack. Fuck that guy. Full question.
Well, actually.
Okay. Full question.
Dude, that's 3 today. Yeah, dickhead.
So anyway, I completely get what you're talking about. Yeah. That is, I don't know, I'd probably say Rogue One, but that might be my favorite Star Wars movie, honestly.
Rogue One is up there. Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I'm right there with you. Yeah. I remember where I was in my grandma's kitchen when I saw that movie. It was on, I think it was on HBO.
Oh, really?
Because I didn't see it in theaters. But I remember, I loved it. You couldn't have told me that day that it was going to get a bad rap. Fuck that. Like, I didn't want to hear it. I was all about Star Wars. I went and bought the game. There was a game based on the movie.
On PlayStation.
It was fucking awesome.
Yep.
I love that game.
Yep, same.
But yeah, I'm with you.
Cool.
I'm here for that.
Cool. All right, we're moving.
It didn't make my list, but it's a great movie.
Yeah. And we're going to have different lists for a lot of sentimental, a lot of hindsight, a lot of nostalgia. But, that's what 1999 is. So What is your number 3, CJ?
My number 3. I love this. Obviously, I love all these movies. But
That goes without saying. Like, we love all these
there's
movies.
a special place in my heart for this movie. There really is. I have a lot of movies like this. There's another one on this list. We're being attacked by ninjas, and Abel's very concerned.
Oh, no, I hear things here, because we're trying out headphones now, and I hear things now that I don't hear out here, so I'm just testing it out.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Anyways.
Is there a ninja behind me?
No ninja.
This movie has a special place in my heart, and it always will. I love this movie. It's hilarious. It's probably one of my favorite comedies. It is one of my favorite comedies. It's got heart out the ass. I love it so much.
I think I know what it is. Can I guess it?
Yeah, you can guess.
Big Daddy?
Yes.
Dude, we are so on it today.
I love this movie so much.
We're so on it, yeah. I love Big Daddy.
This is such a great movie. It's probably behind. I have to give The Waterboy the edge, but
of
it's
Glory?
Yeah,
and I'm
of what?
I'm singing Lady Gaga. Anyways, keep going.
No, get out of here with Lady Gaga. She can't. No, I love Lady Gaga. I'm sorry, Gaga. Am I sorry? Pull question. But as far as like Adam Sandler movies, it goes. I think for me, it goes The Waterboy probably because The Waterboy is great. But then right below that is Big Daddy, and this movie is so adorable. Like, it's beautiful. Like, it's honestly a beautiful movie. It's like it's a story about this. He's not really a loser. Would you call him a loser?
I would call him a loser.
Okay, he's a loser. Fine.
Would you not call him a loser because you're like CJ? I see a lot of myself.
Yeah, I really do, which sucks. It blows, but yeah, it's true. I see a lot of myself in that character, which is terrible. But he grows up and he loves this kid, and this kid's awesome. Like, that kid made me think that all kids are fucking awesome. And I love kids, and I don't know, my daughter's pretty awesome.
But not all kids. He said
That's
all
true.
kids, yeah.
Fair enough. But this movie, like, just the beats of it are fucking amazing. Like, and it's so sad when that guy comes and takes him away. Oh, God, I could have cried.
I want my own ass.
Oh, my gosh.
My own ass.
And you want to cry with Adam Sandler right there. And then the songs playing in the background. Sweet child of mine. And, that's one of the saddest moments ever. This is a movie I will always stop on. If it's on TV, I'm watching it. I can't skip past it.
If OJ can get away with murder, why can't Sonny have his kid? This guy knows what I'm talking about, and he's like...
This movie, yes, this is probably... I quote this movie a lot. Anytime I pee outside, why? I'll write your name, mind your business. I do that all the time.
What I always quote in this movie is, so when somebody asks me what he wants to eat, lasagna. You gotta pick something else. Cheerios.
40 packets of ketchup. And Scuba Steve is awesome. That whole thing is awesome. Like, being a father now, like, it's funny because, like, obviously my daughter doesn't get this joke, but I'm like, being naked and the adults and kids, I don't know the rules, and just go.
Yeah, as a dad, especially with the daughter, I can kind of feel you. You're like, I don't know the rules, so I'm just gonna kind of.
He's just sitting in this fucking swimsuit in the bathtub. That shit's funny. And I always quote this. I don't know why. I just say these quotes randomly with no context, just whatever. And it's like, not that Barney, the different Barney, the more expensive Barney.
That
I say that all the time.
Always runs through my mind because then it's the song that follows that. Like, I always have that song stuck in my head.
Well,
like,
I do it time again. Whatever.
I
will do it all the same.
Yeah, exactly. Big dude. Yeah. So Big Daddy's always in my lexicon, specifically of my thoughts, of my random.
Me too.
Yeah. So yeah.
That's how it is for me.
Yeah.
I love Adam Sandler movies, and this is peak Adam Sandler for me. So, and this absolutely belongs on this list. I love this movie.
Cool. That's a good number 3. My number 3 is up there as well as far as comedies, and it's been on the show before as an honorable mention for something. I love this movie. Anytime it's on TV, I watch it, even though that's not a thing anymore because I'm just not scrolling through TV.
I still do. But,
I don't have cable, so through Hulu, I guess.
Actually, I don't anymore. I just got rid of it, so
well,
I'm gonna have to stop saying that now. Damn it.
Anywho, just the idea of this movie was fucking awesome, and now as an adult, I get the jokes more because these guys are like, nobody watches the show anymore. They were a show that was like 30 years ago, the only people that pay mind to these guys are nerds that go to conventions, and then they actually go on the real thing.
Oh, I know what it is.
What is it?
Galaxy Quest.
Dude, I fucking love this movie, dude. I
movie.
fucking love this movie. You were talking about Big Daddy, that shit that always runs through your mind. In this scene, Sam Rockwell, before he made it huge, you know who Sam Rockwell is, the actor? He played Bush in the latest Vice movie. Google him real quick.
Oh, isn't he the guy? Isn't he the bad guy in
Iron Man 2?
Iron Man 2, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Justin. Justin Hammer.
Yeah, before he was a big actor, he won an Oscar last year. Like, he's a big, legitimate, like, staple of an actor now. The running joke in that movie is that he's the random castmate that just follows him around. And one of my favorite scenes in that movie is. So what they're sucked up in the ship in space, whatever, and then it runs out of fuel. So they have to go to this random ass planet to get like this like huge thing of for fuel, this energy source to get the ship back running. So they land this ship and they open up the doors in the back, and he's like, "What are you doing? You don't know if it has air. What are you doing?" And he's like. Tony Shalhoub is in it, and then Tony Shalhoub is in this movie too, and then immediately after that, he's like, "Smells good to me." Dude, Tim Allen.
It's been a long time since I've seen this movie.
Dude, it is hilarious. Tim Allen in this movie is great. Sigourney Weaver is in this movie. She's great as well. Alan Rickman. Alan Rickman's second appearance. I guess '99 was a big year for Alan Rickman. And in this base, it just plays on the trope that. Galaxy Quest was the Star Trek of this...
Like, it's like the nerdy...
of this universe. Yeah. And Justin Long is in this movie. He's the nerd that is always asking him, like, did you know that the starboard was, whatever that,
That's cool.
In that thing. And there's a lot of stars in this movie.
Holy shit.
A lot would-be stars in this movie. It's a good classic comedy movie. I thought it was underrated... But then, like, I've read in forums and stuff, it's not as underrated. But I still think, as far as, like, as a whole... Still very underrated. Very underrated movie.
Yeah, it's not... I mean... It's pretty niche, probably.
It is very niche, I would say.
Yeah.
I still think it was a pretty box office hit, though, but not as big as it should have been, I think. And
honestly, I think I've only seen it once, and it was a really long fucking time ago.
I guarantee if you watched it again, you will laugh your ass off.
Okay.
Guarantee. That has the able stamp of approval of that CJ will laugh his ass off.
You know what? I'm not doing anything for the rest of the night after this. I'm going to watch it tonight.
Dude, you will not be disappointed. If you are, you can undress me on the, not literally, but like yell at me figuratively on this show about how wrong I was.
Should I literally undress Abel if he's wrong about this, whether I'll like this movie? Poll question.
This show's about to get triple X if that happens.
I can't do. I found out a long time ago I suck at random porn music, like just making it by myself. Yeah, but that's the thing. I don't want to do the thing that everyone does. Oh. Yeah, it's hard to make random porn music. Is it hard to make random porn music? Poll question. See, everyone does that. Yeah, you suck at it too. It's hard.
You're right. It's tough.
That is a skill that not many people have, and it is very valuable. And I don't have it. Can you make random porn music? Poll question. I don't think I could fuck to that. Sorry. I don't think I could. It's difficult, and you suck at it. I'm sorry.
That was good. What are you talking about?
I can't.
George Clinton and the Funkadelics are about to lay down a beat to that. Are you kidding me?
Clinton? What'd you say?
George Clinton and the Funkadelics.
Are they about to lay a beat down to that? Poll question.
They're the ultimate like funk band of the '60s. So, anyways, so yeah.
My point stands.
Just Galaxy Quest and.
So, but I will be watching it tonight.
Galaxy.
And I will have.
Did you find it? Well, I know you're searching for it.
I'll have no.
Oh, never mind.
I'll have
an opinion.
An opinion next week.
All right.
On Galaxy Quest.
Because
I'm down on Tim Allen. I gotta be honest.
I am too. In hindsight, but he will. I can take all the other bullshit away for 2 hours and watch this movie. So
fair enough. And I'm way up on Sigourney Weaver, so that's cool.
Same. Alrighty, your number 2 then, CJ.
My number 2. Oh man, I love this movie. Okay, so I should really probably stop saying that. I'm not gonna. I love this movie. This movie came to me in a cool way. Because this movie actually came to me in a horrible weekend. Do you want to hear this is going to be a very vulnerable story.
If you're willing to share it to our listeners, then yes.
I'm not going to say any names.
Okay.
But this is a thing that happened to me.
Okay.
And it is terrible. I had a crush on a girl,
Okay.
a really huge crush. I was in love with this girl, and I went to her house one weekend because she's a photographer, and she was gonna take my senior pictures in high school. And I had to stay the night, and I heard her smashing her boyfriend in the next room, and it was so brutal. But the night.
Dude.
It hurt a lot. That sucked.
All by myself.
Yeah. And
so wanna be.
It was pretty bad. And the music they were listening to was "It's Too Late to Apologize." So I hate that song forever. Like I can't say it. Well, I mean it's less now, but I was in high school at the time.
At the time,
which is peak,
I would have been devastated.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
High school is peak level.
That's what I'm saying.
KD sensitivity.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
KD's never gotten over that kind of sensitivity.
It's Kevin Durant still in high school. Full question.
And that is peak level sensitive.
Yeah,
like high
that's pretty
school.
bad.
Fuck, bro.
Yeah.
Okay, so
anyway, that's some context surrounding this movie.
And then you were watching that movie while she was getting it on with your boyfriend, right? Is that what that goes?
No, I was listening to that song.
Okay.
It's horribly. I can't listen to that song. Well, I probably could now. Like I said, that's what.
You know what the CJ just cried, just like jerking off here.
What is that? That's off something. What is that? Oh, Dave Chappelle, The Real Mad World. That guy.
Oh, yeah. His girlfriend's
Damn, that's funny. Holy shit, that's funny. The Real Mad World. I missed that. I missed the Chappelle show. Anyway.
Best sketch show of all time.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
Anyway, before that happened, like a couple hours before that, she showed me this movie, and I freaking love this movie. It kind of came out of nowhere. I wasn't expecting her. I just randomly, she asked me if I'd seen this movie, and I'm like, no. She's like, like it freaked her out. Like, you gotta watch this movie. I'm like, okay, we can watch it, whatever.
The Mummy.
Huh?
The Mummy.
No.
Oh.
Well, we'll give it one. Okay. Just missed my list.
Oh, really?
Oh, man, that kills me.
Yeah.
I freaking love that movie.
Same.
But so it's not The Mummy, but I love The Mummy, and I'm bummed out that I couldn't make this list. However...
Yeah, that's the first one I missed. All right, keep going.
The Boondock Saints made this list.
Ah, okay.
That is such a great... I love that movie so much.
Saints,
It's uber violent,
yes.
which I am all about that. I love violence in movies. I'll just say it. People listening to the show know that. I love action movies, and I also love, like... They're not really spies, but they kind of have that vibe kind of a little bit. Yeah. Like the spy super killer kind of vibe. They kind of fit that bill a little bit, which was really cool to me. But there's these cool Irish dudes who just go around murdering terrible people.
Dudes. Yeah.
Oh, God, that's one of the greatest premises for a movie.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Just put two Irish badasses just murdering people like fucking James Bond, anti-James Bond style. Like, vigilante, they're these badass vigilantes who just go on this tear of, like Russian mob bosses, I guess, probably. Yeah. And they murder everyone.
Yeah, and not only do they murder him, it's super fucking violent.
Yeah,
the first time the dude from Walking Dead, Daryl or whatever, he's in that movie. He's one of the guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. The one scene that always comes to mind from that movie is that, all right, we gotta make like a tree and get the fuck out of here. Yeah.
The scene I always think of, there's a few of them. But my favorite scene is they're arguing. They're in the shaft arguing, and they come down. They're like tangled up in this rope, and they're like swinging, like they're upside down swinging, and they murk like fucking 8 dudes like swinging around in a circle. God damn, that was badass.
Every college house party I've ever been to has a Boondock Saint poster up.
Yeah.
I bet you. Oh, never mind. This is a whole me being old person rant right now.
We're doing a show for literally about all 20-year-old movies.
But I don't know if that's such a thing anymore. I don't think kids.
Oh, probably not.
No, but when I went to school, we went to house parties. Like that, every house I went to had that.
Aquatis Veritas.
Yes, the whole thing, and they had the rosaries on the gun, like the whole thing. So that is very ingrained in a very particular generation, and I think it is our generation when we watch this movie.
Yeah.
I remember watching it. We were spending the night at one of my buddy's house. I don't remember if it was middle school or high school, and we were just fucking around or whatever. And before we went to bed, we put that movie in, and I was just like, fuck, like this is intense. So.
Willem Dafoe's awesome in this movie.
Willem Dafoe is fucking awesome in this movie.
He's great in this movie.
Yeah.
It's no one is gonna know what the fuck I'm talking about here, but they use. I heard snippets of this movie that I didn't know. If anyone listening to this is a fan of Bleeding Through, you'll know who I'm talking. No one is. I'm talking to no one right now, but they use snippets of that movie, and when we were watching it, in their songs, a couple of them, and when I was watching it, that was like a really cool moment for me because I've been listening to that song for like a few years already, like 4 or 5 years already, and to find where those came from, that was really cool. So that helped a lot. But just the uber over the top violence, and he murders that dude murders the shit out of a cat in a fucking awesome way.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Now I will dip my balls in marinara sauce just so those fat bastards have a taste of home while they do it. Boom! Fucking cat goes flying off. Huge bloody mess on the wall. Holy shit! I can't believe that just fucking happened. Oh god.
It's a good
beautiful.
movie.
Oh, so
that is
beautiful.
the definition of a cult hit. Like that is.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, that movie is. Yeah. That movie will live on forever. And they even did a sequel like 20 years later. It wasn't.
No, don't watch the sequel. But watch the Moondock Saints. That movie's badass. You will love it. It's fantastic.
I'll only touch.
And the dude with the Tourette's at the beginning.
Oh yeah.
I'll fuck you in the ass. They were like putting the words in between them.
Yeah.
Oh god damn, that's funny. So sorry, go watch the movie. It's fantastic.
It's good. Okay, my number 2. I'll only talk about it a little bit because it's your number 1 for sure. My number 2 is The Matrix.
Cool.
So, we talked about it in the show.
Yeah.
We talked about it on the show last week or 2 weeks ago. It's just that movie, groundbreaking. Love that movie. Probably should have stayed at 1. But yeah, that's my number 2. We'll talk about it more. So, what is your number 1?
That's The Matrix.
It's The Matrix.
Yes, Keanu Reeves, one of my favorite actors of all time.
Did it come from this movie? Or these sets of movies?
No, it's a body of work. Probably. Speed is in there. I love that movie. Point Break. I love Point Break. I love Bill and Ted, actually. Both movies are awesome. They're making a third one, which is fantastic. I just love Keanu Reeves. But yeah, probably this is probably where it hit the apex. The Matrix. We covered it. What the Matrix did for movie making is still, just to this day, is...
And credit to the Matrix, when you talk about a stacked movie or like this, the Matrix always still stands out. Like they're like, oh, 99 Matrix. Oh yeah, the Matrix.
When I looked up, it's the first number 1 right there.
Yeah, it was the Matrix, and yeah, it's for very apparent and appropriate reasons. This movie is. This
movie pushed a lot of boundaries for me personally too.
Yeah.
And as watching it as an adult, it's cool to catch all the themes and all the little parts.
That you missed.
Movies just weren't this good back then. Like, obviously, we're talking about how good these movies are, but what I mean is, like, they outdid all those other ones. Like, they were. I don't even know how to say it. Like, they just pushed every boundary in every direction.
Yes, yeah.
Just writing wise, with the exception of probably Dogma.
Visually, the whole thing.
Yeah. Casting was perfect. Everything about it. Yeah. And I'll always love it.
Yeah.
So it's a perfect movie to a really difficult list.
Yes. Okay, so that was CJ's number 1. My number 1 now.
I know what it is already.
What is it?
You want me to just say it?
Yes.
It's Fight Club.
Absolutely. What you have feelings for The Matrix, I have for Fight Club. Not only did it make David Fincher my favorite director.
He's your favorite director?
He's my favorite director. David Fincher.
I was going to go on like a whole 20-minute tangent about how Pulp Fiction started Quentin Tarantino for me, like a whole thing. I had this whole thing planned out.
If we do 94 one day.
We shouldn't.
94.
We should do Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah. That'd be a good show, actually.
That would be a good show.
94 is actually, they call that the one of the better music years. Dookie came out that year, In Utero came out that year.
Nice.
So a bunch of albums came out that year. So,
that's cool.
Yeah. But where was I? Yeah, just Fight Club, dude. Just the idea of that movie, that this guy has a complete... You don't know that throughout the movie, but he has a split personality. And watching it back, they leave enough trails there for you to pick up, but you never really do. And then at the end, like, it's like, holy fuck. While this guy sleeps, because he's sleep deprived, or he thinks he's sleeping, he's out. His second personality is out shaking dicks and making moves, and he creates. It starts from this Fight Club, but then it turns into this Project Mayhem, and they're just like sticking it to corporate America in a time where it's not in the vernacular as it is now. You know, like everybody now is like, you know, the guillotine's back in style, and everybody says eat the billionaires and shit like that. And this movie, I think, was very ahead of its time. Well, it came from a book.
Yeah.
But just to put it in that style of visualization, and that movie really put on the forefront of like the way David Fincher makes his movies. Because if you watch movies after that, you're like, oh, it is very.
What else has he directed?
Gone Girl. He's directed The Case of Benjamin Button, Zodiac. What else has he directed? Girl with the Dragon. This remake, The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. He's made Alien 3. This was before though. What else has he made? He's made. What other movie did he make? He just made a bunch of movies, and I love all those movies. But there's a very Finchian-esque way he makes the movies. Very dark, the way he moves the camera back and forth. Let's talk about Brad Pitt.
Kind of jerky, kind of like...
Yeah. Let's talk about Brad Pitt in this movie. Like, when people talk about iconic Brad Pitt roles, this is one of them.
Probably what
Absolutely,
they think of,
absolutely.
probably.
This is... You talked about peak Apex Keanu Reeves in Matrix. This is Apex Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
Like
this is probably the first thing they think of when they think of Brad Pitt.
Yeah, and
especially people our age.
And I think he broke out of that mold where they had him pigeonholed as far as like, oh, he's only like easy on the eyes. In this movie, he takes it to another level. He takes it to a whole other level. The scene where they're just beating his ass and he's laughing. Get it out of you. Like great in this movie. Edward Norton in this movie is fucking tastic. Like the scene where he beats the shit out of himself in his boss's office, great. Jared Leto's in this movie for a little bit. He gets the shit beat out of him. I love the reason why he got the shit beat out of him, because he's like, I just wanted to destroy something beautiful. And this movie has layers on layers and layers of themes of just societal problems and just everything in general. And you can watch that movie 1,000 times and have a different feeling 1,000 different times.
You pull something new out of it every single time.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, and
that's for sure.
And that movie is fantastic. And then actually, what added the cherry on top was, I didn't know this was a book. And then in college, I took this course called, what was it called? Fiction into Film. So
nice.
all semester we read a book and then watched the movie.
That's cool.
And so we read the book.
You wish you took fiction into film, pull question.
Yeah, it was probably one of the only few classes I remember from college, honestly. And so we read the book first, watched the movie, and then and our teacher was kind of not, I shouldn't say out there, but she was like,
she was cool enough to teach a class called Fiction into Film.
Cool enough to teach that class, but also cool enough to just not be like, hey, like write a paper, like whatever. So we had five projects that season, as far as like 5 books into movies. And one of them, and you had to do one of each. So yes, one of them was your basic like book movie report, and then it was like, whatever, I don't even remember. But one of them was you have to do something that's not like all the other ones. Like you can't do a PowerPoint, or whatever. And I remember doing mine was PowerPoint infused, so I got away with it. I asked permission first. And in the book, they play a lot on haikus. Like Tyler Durden, Edward Norton's version, he always wrote a haiku. As far as like how his day's going and stuff. So the way I did my PowerPoint presentation is I wrote a haiku for each chapter of the book about what that chapter was, and then it was like 20 chapters long, but as each chapter went, Tyler Durden flashed, and then the deeper you went into the haikus, like the more pronounced he was. Nice. Dude, teacher loved that, and she said, can I use this for future, like, to show like an example of like a good,
like what you can do
that's not like a book report. And I was like, yeah, sure, use it. So I gave her like the flash or whatever. So yeah, dude, I was so enthralled in this. So like
does Abel have a giant college dick? Poll question.
I immersed myself in this movie, and just like, you know what else I found from this movie? The Pixies. I fucking love that band. So and that came from this movie. Whereas My Mind is a Pixie song, you know. So just the entirety of this movie's dick is like, I will forever suck, and it's my number one. And as much as I love The Matrix, Galaxy Quest, Dogma, like those movies are here, that movie is there, just for me personally. And
no, I know, trust, like I know that feeling that you
and
have.
I fucking love that movie. So that is my number one.
It's a great movie.
99. So.
That was probably 7 or 8 for me. But I also love that movie. It's a great movie.
It's a good movie. So with our top,
I just want to.
Well, I was just about to say I have a list of movies that we didn't talk about.
Real quick though, one of my probably my favorite scene. Obviously, there's a ton of cool scenes in that movie. Well, the soap scene comes to mind. The soap
scene is really
good.
That
was really cool.
Yeah.
But my favorite part of that movie, I don't know, but it's up there anyway. Where he takes that dude, the Asian dude who's working at the store. He's like, if you're not on your way to becoming a veterinarian, I'm gonna go to your house and fucking murder you. That was just so trippy.
And then after he takes off running, he just like tosses his whatever. Yeah,
that's so badass.
Yeah,
the breakfast he tastes tomorrow is gonna taste he's never gonna have tasted a better breakfast in his life. That's so cool. Honestly, it's cool.
If you've seen
don't do that.
If you've seen that movie, read the book. The book ends differently. Actually, should I tell you?
I don't care really.
Okay.
Yeah,
So the way the book ends is, so in the movie he blows his head off, or he blows a portion of his head off that has Tyler Durden or whoever that is, because we really never really get his name, disappears, right? So then at the end of the movie we see that they actually succeed in blowing up all the credit card or all the credit firms, and all credit is clear from everybody. Well, in the book, that happens, but he also collapses from losing a lot of blood. So he comes to, and then he comes to in the hospital, and then what's her name in the movie? I forget. It starts with an M. Oh my god, I've seen this movie a million times.
Isn't
It's like Mara.
I was thinking Mara.
It's something. What I forgot. Jeez, take my card away.
But the lady, the girl.
Yes, yeah. She's standing by his side, and he wakes up, and then everything's gonna be fine, Mr. Durden, whatever. And then they're taking him to surgery or whatever, and then all the nurses and because he thinks that this is over, right? They blew up the things, Tyler Durden isn't, or my imaginary character isn't a thing anymore. We're set free. Well, then all the hospital staff turns, and he's like, "Don't worry about it, Mr. Durden. We will take care of you." And then the book ends. So
what?
Yeah, so you don't know where that's, you know what I mean? So
wow,
it ends more on a cliffhanger than the movie does.
That's weird.
Yeah, it's weird. So yeah, just a totally different experience with the book, and in the movie is really good. So yeah, it's good.
Wow, cool.
Yeah. So, but yeah, let me just give you a list of movies we didn't talk about that I fucking love.
Please.
Iron Giant.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
God, that's a great movie.
Office Space.
Yeah, that movie's awesome.
South Park, Bigger, Longer,
Two
and
chicks
Uncut.
at the same time.
South Park,
that
Bigger,
hurts
Longer,
too.
Uncut did not make the list.
I fucking love that movie.
I love that movie too.
That's such a shame.
Not Oscar nominated South Park for Best Original Song for Blame Canada.
Every song on that movie's beautiful.
That movie is fantastic.
That hurts to leave off. It really does.
Another movie ahead of its time. We have The Mummy,
which thank you, in Hall of Fame in NWO honorary member. Brendan Fraser. I love that movie. That movie's underrated.
That movie is severely underrated.
Yes.
Three Kings. I love that movie.
That's a good movie.
Ice Cube, George Clooney, and who's the third guy? Ice Cube, George Clooney. Is it Wahlberg? No, it's not Wahlberg. Is it? No, I forget.
That's a good movie though.
Yep. Man on the Moon with Jim Carrey. He's Andy Kaufman. Thank you very much. Never seen that movie? I fucking love that movie. It's an autobiographical movie on Andy Kaufman. I love Drop Dead Gorgeous. Have you ever seen that movie? It's fantastic. What other movies did we not talk about?
Eyes Wide Shut.
Eyes Wide Shut.
It's a movie about an orgy, basically.
Yeah, awesome. Really. About a sex club.
I remember watching that movie with my dad, and he's like, I was like, should I close my eyes? Like, I don't give a shit. Whatever you want. So I basically watched an orgy. It was pretty cool.
American Beauty, Magnolia, The Sixth Sense.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, nobody ever believes me, but I figured out that Bruce Willis was dead.
This again. Yeah, we know.
Oh, yeah, I talked about it on the show, didn't I?
Yeah.
The minute he did not move the chair in the restaurant scene, I was like, oh, he's dead, isn't he? Boom, that motherfucker was dead. I guessed it.
You've never talked about that movie without saying that, probably. American Beauty.
That
was a great fucking movie.
The Green Mile.
The Blair Witch Project.
The original... Well,
It's what started all that.
The found footage shit. Being John Malkovich.
The Green Mile.
Toy Story 2.
That's fucking crazy. American Pie.
American fucking Pie.
Which will forever live in the zeitgeist. And it's prevalent today. That's crazy. It just comes over the top.
Blink-182's in that movie. Do you realize?
This movie, this year, just pummels you.
Yeah.
And then it knocks you in the jaw. And then it kicks you when you're down.
10 Things I Hate About You.
I fucking love that movie.
I fucking love that movie, too.
Tarzan, which is a good movie. Holy shit. There's...
October Sky with Jake Gyllenhaal. That's a really good movie.
Austin Powers.
The Spy Who Shagged Me, the best one of the 3 movies, was the second movie.
Deep Blue Sea, which is fucking insane. Samuel L. Jackson has the best death in like the history of movies in that movie.
I am sick of these motherfuckers, and we are getting alive. And then the shark goes.
Payback. You ever seen Payback?
I have seen Payback.
That movie's badass. That movie's like tailor made for me, honestly.
The Talented Mr. Ripley. I like that movie too.
Varsity Blues, which of course everyone loves.
Varsity Blues is 99.
Yep.
Damn. Boys Don't Cry. That was Sleepy Hollow. Just a very, very, very good year in movies.
And The Haunting, I fucking hate that movie. So, actually, The Haunting kind of brings it down a lot. Yeah, you know what? I'm down at 99. Fuck this year. I really hate that movie a lot. It pisses me off.
So these are the top. I'm gonna just read up the top 10 highest grossing movies of that year.
Cool.
Star Wars Episode 1, The Sixth Sense, Toy Story 2, Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me, The Matrix, Tarzan, Big Daddy, The Mummy, Runaway Bride, The Blair Witch Project, Stuart Little, we forgot to mention. Double Jeopardy, I remember that movie. Wild Wild West was 99.
What?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Wild Wild West was 99.
I can tell you my favorite song from 1999.
Wild Wild West. Inspector Gadget, remember that movie?
Yes.
Pokemon,
with
the first
French
movie.
Stewart.
Yep.
Pokemon, what'd you say?
The Pokemon movie with Mew and Mewtwo was in.
Right on.
Blue Streak with Martin Lawrence
no shit.
was
That's
99.
badass.
Yeah.
Ah, that's a good movie.
She's All That.
Holy shit, 99. I must have been going off a very limited
Stigmata.
list.
I like that movie.
I never got. I tried watching it a couple times. I think it weirded me out. I can't remember. I remember trying to watch Stigmata and like getting a little bit into it, and it's like I can't do this.
Ed TV was 99. That was like the first, like the idea of like a reality show where they followed him everywhere every day. Like that was a very like novel idea. I think it was.
When I think of that, I think of the Truman Show.
It was kind of like that.
It was Truman Show.
Except it wasn't so like.
Like organized.
It was just like a guy.
Like, it wasn't so premeditated.
Yeah,
probably.
like one of the.
Was it a show or a movie?
It was a movie. I think it was Matthew McConaughey.
Well, it's like a movie about a show.
Yeah, and they just follow this guy around, and I remember one of the scenes is just like he's like sitting on his couch, and he puts his hand on his crotch, and he's just watching TV, drinking a beer, and the cameras are like around him, and he's just like. It's pretty funny. It's pretty good.
That sounds fun.
So yeah, 99, great movie, great year. So question of the show: what is your favorite movie from 1999?
Oh, yeah.
And let us know what. I'll put a list down there and screenshot it, and you guys can pick there and let us know. So, I think we're moving on. We sucked that we were on that year for.
I was thinking Me, Myself, and Irene, but it's 2000.
2000.
Yeah.
All right.
It just seemed like it was from. I don't know. Me, Myself, and Irene seems like it's from 1999.
Doesn't
I don't
it?
know why. Yeah.
I love that movie actually.
That's a good movie.
Alrighty, we're moving on. We're getting the fuck out of here. Next week's show, I have a couple things in mind, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah, I would love to see a couple lists of top 5 99 movies.
Yeah, so
just so you guys can see how hard that is.
Yeah, give us your top 5 1999 movies. We would love to see. We'll read them on the show, obviously, if you guys put them together. So please do that. As far as next week's show, I have a couple ideas. Nothing set in stone. As far as the orders recommendations, CJ, do you have anything?
No.
Okay. Me, as always, I have my top 5 comics for.
I've watched like 14 kids movies this last week.
Anything
so,
that?
no.
Okay.
Also, Ferngully, which I have a thing.
It's Avatar.
Avatar is not Ferngully.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. It's different.
We'll get on this some other time.
All right.
All right. As always, I have my 5 comics you guys should check out on Wednesday. Punisher number 8, Alien 3 number 4, Flash 64. Detective Comics 998 and God of War number 4. So those are my 5 comics you guys should check out this week. If you guys have any suggestions, comments, let us know on Twitter or Facebook at NerdWorldOrder1 on both platforms. They can find us personally on Facebook and on Twitter.
I am at CJMFA.
At Saint Abel on Saints_Abel45. You can find the show on Spotify, Google Play, Stitcher, Google Play, Spotify, iTunes, Libsyn, all those places. Any aggregators, find us on there. Patreon, please guys, go donate. We have an idea for something we're gonna put on Patreon, and I think you guys are really gonna like it. So we're gonna just tease it a little bit, but if you guys donate at least $10 a month, you guys will get a free t-shirt on us. If you want to do a one-time donation, nerdworldorder2@gmail.com, and buy shirts, buy our merch. You can put our logo on like pillows and hoodies and blankets and shit like that. So go to TeePublic. I'll have the link there so you guys can go check it out. As always, thanks everyone for listening, commenting. We really appreciate it. Anything you guys let us know, email us, hit us up on social network. Any suggestions for shows, anything like that, would be greatly appreciated. Anything else, CJ?
Nope.
Okay. All right, guys. Don't forget, as always, obey the NWO. Oh, shit.
Oh, fuck.